My name is Valerie Faltas, and I am the property tax expert. You can find me at propertytaxlady.com. And today I'm here to talk about the mortgage crisis and the housing bubble bursting. And I'm sure, that has just been all over the media for more than a year now. And, I find it actually very, very interesting because it was like it was never going to burst. We were buying and spending money as if it was never going to end. And if you look at the history of real estate, even just over the last 40 years, real estate is always cyclical. It goes up, it comes down. It goes up, it comes down. There's always a cycle, and it's about every 5 to 10 years, depending on other variables. And there's always an inverse relationship between the interest rate and the prices, right? Which means when the interest rates go up, usually the prices go down, and vice versa. And so what happens is they balance each other out. And our government has been controlling the interest rates for a long time. And over those years, it was going up and up and up and up and up, and everyone was buying and buying and buying and buying, right? And the banks were just handing out these jumbo loans, right? $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, and handing money out to anyone who had a pulse. And then suddenly it was like there was going to be no accountability, and then what was going to happen? And another problem was that people often could pay those mortgages, right, when they first bought the homes. However, the catch was they often had variable interest rates. Those loans were easy to get, they were being handed out, and no one was preparing for 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road. It's like we've all been so excited about the American dream of owning a home, right? We all want our little, 4 walls with the white picket fence, that we lost sight of what that could cost us in the long run. And at what expense are we getting that white picket fence today? It may have been wiser for some of us to have stayed maybe in smaller homes that we were renting and to save up money instead of putting it into a mortgage and then buying later on when the prices were a little bit more balanced with a fixed interest rate on a mortgage, so that you weren't going to be, really struggling and underwater when those rates were changing, because it is crazy. I've seen payments go from $1,000 a month to over $5,000 a month. When those interest rates vary, you just never know what's going to happen. And so it's really important, because the responsibility is not just on the banks, it's also on the side of those of us who took out those loans. And so it's really important for us as homeowners, as investors, to really look at the long term of what's going to happen. If we've been riding a wave in real estate where it's been going higher and higher and higher, at some point that bubble is going to burst. So to be wary of that and to be careful and, to not get ourselves involved in things that could really, really, really damage us for the long term. And so it's just a matter of seeing those things. Real estate is cyclical. Even if you bought at the height of the market, you're going to be fine. You really are. You may have a high payment right now, and it may seem or feel very frustrating. However, real estate will always, always, always come back, and it will come back higher and stronger. It's just a matter of time. So if that's a home you want to be in, just tough it out. Tough it out right now, and you will recover those dollars. Don't worry. It will happen. At the same time, be wary and be wise. Don't just trust everything that a realtor or maybe a loan officer tells you, because they're invested. They make money off of what you're doing. And so they have incentive for you to pay and to put that money out. So make sure that the choices you're making are the wisest ones for you. And know that real estate in the long term always goes up. However, it goes up and it comes down. And so right now we're just in a down time. It will come back up, and it will come back stronger. It's just a matter of time. We're going to ride this out. You can feel free to ask me any questions. You can find me at propertytaxlady.com.